Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today. It is going to be a Protoss versus Terran, a PvT, but more importantly, a bot versus bot match. We have got Ketroc's bot that I've done in the past few videos, notably in the late game, but the reason why I cast this is Zozo. I feel we haven't cast enough Protoss bots lately, and so I thought, you know what, let's go for that and check out how some of these Protoss bots do, because there's some very good ones. However, the top bots are primarily Zerg and Terran, it seems. Now that kind of changes as if you count Xena, I believe, with it playing random, so technically it does play Protoss some of the time, but that's only 1/3 of the time, so not too many Protoss, so I feel as a result I don't cast too many Protoss games, and so I thought, let's check out this one, and we've already got an interesting play from Zozo. It went for a bit of a fake out on the cannon rush, so we see a very detailed response from Ketroc's bot, canceling command center first just because of one pylon built. Cannon rush detected versus cannon rush versus cheese. Ketroc's bot has altered its strategy, and now the game is just now that seems to have messed it up a little bit, so we'll see if Zozo is going to be able to capitalize on that or not. Going for a 2-gate opening, which is very common with these Protoss bots. Not a lot of them go for like a single gateway expand. I don't know if that's just because it's hard to program because of how vulnerable Protoss is. We've also got some interesting SCV behavior from Ketroc's bot. It's like sending 2 down, and then it's like, alright, send them back. So I guess that's just waiting potentially for another command center to be done. I do not know. Anyway, we do now have a Nexus on the way up for Zozo, so just a very safe expand build. Battery going up on the high ground there. And yeah, seems to be in a pretty good spot. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this match, make sure to go ahead, slap that like button. If we can hit 10 likes on this video, that would be amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you're not, as this is pretty much the only regular bot video channel there is. So if you guys want to see that, or you want to see any other content, let me know. I've been playing a little bit of Helldivers, aka kinda third-person Starcraft, it feels like a little bit. And then, so yeah, if you do want to see other content, let me know, but I am very excited to keep checking out these bot games and see how they develop, notably, because they're always being worked on by these die-hard programmers. So we've got Ketroc's bot just sending SCVs back and forth. I believe this is just what it does with its extra SCVs while it's waiting for them to build. Either that or it bugged out a little bit, but anyway, yeah, just a 1 base here from Ketroc since its expansion was cancelled just because of that 1 proxy pylon, which seems like a pretty strong build to potentially do against Ketroc's bot if it causes that much of a reaction. Now, Ketroc's bot is getting up that command center, just playing it very safe, which is definitely a good response when it comes to being potentially cheesed anyway. Now, Zozo has got that Nexus up, making lots of probes, so got a nice worker lead, got a good mining lead at the minute, and then getting up a robo behind this, so just making stalkers, got a robo. We'll see what other tech is going to come out. No warp gate being researched either. It's kind of 50-50 with these Protoss bots as far as whether they utilize warp gate or not. We've got Ketroc's bot going to be making the most of a catch-up as it can as far as the economy goes, with that command center going up on its, or a 3rd command center going up before its natural's even done. Funny how that build has worked out. Whereas Zozo, yeah, looking to get a bit aggressive here. 6 stalkers are moving out, 2 more being produced, and that prism gonna join up with this. The prism, I imagine, will be strictly for micro, since there hasn't been any warp gate researched. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, leave a comment down below if you haven't already. Say more bots if you want to see more of these bots. It does help out with the YouTube algorithm, which is another bot, funnily enough. So we're going to see what these stalkers can get done against Ketroc's bot. Ketroc's bot does not have the planetary done yet. It does have it on the way, though. It's also getting out a siege tank as well. Now Zozo's coming on in, probe leading the charge, but here comes in 6 Stalkers. This is a situation that the Terran could be very vulnerable as these Marines are getting shot down. They do not stand a chance against these Stalkers. Very aggressive micro. Do the Stalkers take out this natural command center, this planetary potentially? Or are they going to go for the main? It looks like they're killing the SCVs, which is good when it comes to fighting a planetary. There is a tank done for Ketroc spot. If that siege is up next to the planetary, it could be in a very good spot. We now see Stalkers microing against this planetary. The PF, though, good targeting, actually. I wonder if that's got to be custom programming there by Ketroc spot, because the planetary, I believe, would target whatever unit got injured last, or whatever unit it was shooting previously, and then just pick a closest target, I believe. So I wonder if that was planetary programming done by Ketroc, or whether that was just the AI being randomly choosy. I'm not 100% sure. Very curious, though, if Ketroc did program that to target the injured units. For now, though, we do have the Stalker micro failing hard in this prism, as the tank was a little too powerful, the planetary too hard to break, and so the attack from Zozo falls flat. We've got cannons going up in the mineral line as there's a Banshee now shooting at one of these probes. The battery is big when it comes to trying to defend these workers. There is an observer on the way. Cannons and batteries are a great defense against Banshees, but we do see really good harassment from Ketroc spot so far. There's only been 6 probes go down. Ketroc spot is definitely down on the worker count after losing all those SCVs in the natural, but we see canceling 1 SCV for Protoss probe, interestingly enough. But yeah, Zozo attacking on in here. Targets down an SCV, but loses 2 Stalkers for it. It's getting up these cannons that will help defend against the Banshees, getting an observer to move across the map, but breaking the planetary. The nut that is Ketroc's natural base is not an easy thing to do. Like, it's so hard to break 2 tanks in a planetary fortress, let alone program a bot to do that. Now we've got Ketroc spot making lots of Banshees behind this, getting up 2 more starports. It's already got that 3rd command center done, so it is going to catch up on SCVs, I feel. And we are seeing Zozo just trickle units in here, which is not a good sign for this bot. Can the Immortal kill off the tank? It's not targeting it, it's just shooting the planetary, so poor targeting there. The Prism doesn't give a hoot, apparently. All the while this is going on, we've got the Banshee harassing still. There's going to be a lot more where that came from, so we may need to see more static defense for Zozo. It's got the makings of a good economy with a 4th base on the way already, but we are going to need to see, potentially, yeah, some more cannons, some more batteries. A Phoenix would be great against Ketroc spot, seeing as how it is going for mass Banshee. The main thing is, though, just how many Stalkers have trickled in and died into this natural. 17 and an Immortal. It seems that Zozo's only requirement to attack, it says, is 3 Stalkers, which is not a good amount. I don't think any Protoss has ever successfully won a game by moving across the map with 3 Stalkers. Yeah, at the 8-minute mark. Maybe early cheeses with the odd with a couple of Stalkers, but we see it's just like these tanks are just killing everything that walks forward, and my heart is slowly breaking as someone that wants to see a good Protoss bot, as it's just not working here for Zozo. It's taking some harassment from this Banshee. So far, the Banshee harassment has been rather minimal. Well, not super minimal, 15 dead probes, but not catastrophic. But if Zozo doesn't change up its strategy soon, I'm going to be really concerned. It does shoot that tank a little bit. We see an Immortal getting shot. The Prism doesn't pick up the injured Immortal. I don't know if it just micros Stalkers or what. We've got Ketroc spot trying to move out, take that 3rd base. The Immortal is going to find it and kill it. Potentially cancel that base, but now the Immortal's just hanging out. The Banshees can kill it. Hyperflight Rotors is on the way. The Banshee count is currently 9 against 5 Stalkers with only a cannon at each base. At this point in the game, you need like 2 or 3 cannons at each base, I feel. Otherwise, these Banshees could get a lot of work done. When Hyperflight Rotors is done, they are going to be impossible to catch with the Stalkers. And I think Zozo is going to be in a lot of trouble this game. You may say, well, it just canceled Ketroc spot's 3rd base, but it's already got a 3rd. That's really its 4th. It's just keeping the extra command center in the main. It's also trading out incredibly efficiently. It does have to cancel that base, but it's starting up another here. It's also got a random armory building out on the map. I don't know what that's about, but why not, I suppose? Now, another Banshee taking some Stalker shots. We see just no warp gate production made from Zozo. And yeah, it's just not looking good for this Protoss bot. Like, it's kind of a basic test to play smart around Ketroc's bot as far as handling the planetary goes, and it's just been a fail from Zozo at this point. Now let's see here, we have got Stalkers trading out with these Banshees, not doing a bad job of it, getting some shots off. Thankfully the Observer is following that Prism. One of the Banshees does get taken out. We see these Banshees now shooting at this cannon. Fortunately, the battery can reach and repair that cannon, so it will not die yet. However, there is potential for, say, that battery to get killed. There's not much else going on for Zozo. The production is limited to 5 Stalkers, no upgrades, despite a forge being built. So it's not utilizing that. We see Ketroc's bot's third base has been cancelled again, as Zozo's units sort of conglomerate in this position, but now Banshees are shooting away at the Stalkers. Any unit that wanders near this planetary will certainly die. And then Zozo is not scouting out any of these other bases. Well, not really doing anything at these other bases. We see more Banshee harassment going down. No 5th base for Zozo. And we do see these Stalkers now come around. They find the armory. They're getting some good volleys off on the Banshees, which are still very weak if they're actually detected. This command center building here potentially could be cancelled. So that's a nice win for Zozo. The problem is, though, Ketroc's bot has got another planetary with a tank next to it. And so that means that it does really have a third established. It's getting up another base, turning that into a planetary fortress. Looks like this third will be cancelled again. Is this enough Stalkers and Immortals to break this? I have my doubts, because look, the tanks aren't really being targeted too well. That one is taking some damage. It gets repaired, though, but units back away. The tank almost dies, but that was at the cost for like 15 Stalkers. And so Zozo not having the most success there. We see that this base didn't actually get killed. Ketroc's bot somehow was able to get an SCV there to complete it amidst all the chaos. One of these tanks has gone far forward, so it may die, although the SCV repair is good. And Zozo is being pushed back. Ketroc's bot ahead on bases at this point with yet another one building. That is one of the really nice things about Ketroc's bot, is just how fast it expands. If it has the money, it will expand all over the place. Some bots are really darn good at that. Some of them seem to have more of a hard-coded cap, if you will, in which it seems Zozo's author just said 4 bases seems like a good amount. I'm not going to make my bot try and take any more than that. We see SCVs are being shot down around this planetary. There is good SCV targeting from Zozo, which I will say. Instead of, say, shooting the planetary, it kills the units that prepare the planetary first. And transferring workers are dying. So far, the Banshees haven't really got too much harassment done. The cannon seems to work really well. I say they haven't got too much harassment done. As I checked, though, 40 probes have died, and that number is probably just going to increase. It's not been catastrophic harassment, as Zozo has replaced the workers, but to say no damage has been done, or not significant damage has been done, is a bit of a understatement. Now we see this planetary taking some heat from this Immortal, from these Stalkers, and SCV is repairing it. Does the SCV get targeted down? Yes, it does. This base may actually be broken. Are we going to see a planetary get broken? Stalkers are getting really close to it, targeting down the injured SCVs. So a planetary does fall indeed. So Zozo is building up. I'm just a little concerned. It's not getting any upgrades despite having a forge. Despite having the resources. It's been like above 1,000 resources for the past 5 minutes. And here's the problem: when the Banshees come out in force, when one cannon is no longer enough to defend that probe, you gotta give it, tries to build that cannon, cancels that cannon multiple times. But now we're seeing a big hit to Zozo's economy. We are seeing it strike back, though, try and break this planetary. The tank gets a lot of shots off before it dies. It does, however, die, though, and SCVs are being targeted to some extent by these Stalkers. The ones seem to be just a little too far away. Some Stalkers are stepping forward to pick off these SCVs. Ketroc's bot is running low on resources with this constant repair. Now, can Zozo break this location? The SCV count is dwindling. More are being rallied towards this base. That is one of the things that Ketroc's bot does, is constant SCV reinforcing, but that base does get taken out. Has Zozo scouted out this other one? The answer is yes, so it could potentially go kill that PF to the north. Instead, it's going to try and break the natural, and this is the final boss, it seems, for Zozo. as there's the 2 tanks here. The planetary is standing strong. These siege tanks, one with 20 kills, one with 8. Another tank comes down. The planetary isn't being repaired too much, but the tanks and the PF are just enough to make Zozo back off just enough. If it just would target down that siege tank, but that is so much easier said than done, because programming your bot to do that has got to be so daunting to program in the logic there. And we see now, this is what happens when you leave Ketroc's bot to build Banshees. They started off not getting too much damage done, but as soon as they kill that cannon, the base is basically forfeit, and then there's not that good defensive behavior for Zozo. We see the Banshees are going to kill off this natural, and I know I was kind of knocking Zozo a little bit this game. There's a lot that it does right. Its unit movement is nice. Its constant attacking is kind of nice. The fact that it keeps trying again and again isn't great. The targeting of the SCVs is nice to see, but then just the lack of expansions, the lack of adding extra static defense is something I would like to see be improved. Probes are running away from this Banshee, as there's no more mineral mining for Zozo. It is flat broke. It did kill off a good number of Ketroc's bases, so it wasn't a total wash, that's for sure. But Ketroc's bot never let its natural die. The 2 tanks in the planetary is just such a strong strategy, and we see why. And so I'm definitely going to check out some more of these Protoss bots, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to see any particular bots, let me know. I'll in the comments down below. I'll probably cast Sharkbot next if I can. That was another good Protoss bot. And I think I cast a Zozo game not too long ago. It might have been against Ketroc's bot as well, and it looked eerily similar to this, so there just hasn't been too much development done to it, I think. And yeah, that is going to be that, as just Zozo runs out of gas, runs out of mining, and it just makes me wonder, maybe Zozo would have won this game if it had built up a 5th base. Build a 5th, except make it so that when your bot expands to a 5th, it builds 2 cannons instead of 1. Or maybe later in the game it adds an extra cannon here and there. Those are options, of course. There's so many factors at play. It's a lot easier to commentate these bot games than it is to program the bots, that's for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy this one, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, join the Discord, which is linked down below, to become part of the community. Consider becoming a YouTube member if you do want to support the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time as we watch these Banshees kill off the final cannon. And that is that for Zozo. GG.